Good evening, my fellow Squatchers. Tonight's story, episode number 4, is called The Mica Mountain Monster Masterpiece. Comes to you from British Columbia, sometime October 1955. It seems a Mr. William Rowe observed something strange in the upwoods of that mountain. As he writes, I saw what I thought was a grizzly bear in the bush on the other side. I had shot a grizzly near that spot the year before. This one was only about 75 yards away, but I didn't want to shoot it, for I had no way of getting it out. So I sat down on a small rock and watched, my rifle in my hands. A moment later it raised up, stepped out into the opening, and then I saw it. I saw it all right, and it wasn't any bear. My impression was of a huge hairy man. I'd never seen a huge hairy man before, almost 3 feet wide. But as it came closer, I saw by its breasts that it was female. I even observed nipples. And yes, its torso is not curved like Marilyn Monroe's, no siree. Its broad frame was straight from shoulder to hip. Its arms were much thicker than a man's arms. Kinda homely, if you ask me. And longer, reaching those arms reached almost down to, well, I'm not going to talk about that. Its feet were broader proportionately than a man's. I'm not a foot person, so it didn't turn me on. The nose was broad and flat, kinda, well, I don't want to go there either, I'll get in trouble. The lips and chin protruded farther than its nose, but the hair that covered it made it resemble an animal as much as a human. And its neck, it was also unhuman, thicker and shorter than any man's I'd ever seen. From a distance, it just looked like someone stuck a head on someone's shoulders. Almost like, Robbie the Robot or something. Or that movie with the gorilla head and the robot body, I forget what that was. As I watched this creature, I wondered if some movie company was making a film at this place and that what I was seeing was an actor, made up to look partly human and partly animal. But as I observed it more, I decided that it would be impossible to fake such a specimen. The thought suddenly came to me that if I shot it, I would possibly have a specimen of great interest to scientists around the world. So I leveled my rifle, but after the creature turned to look in my direction, I lowered it. Although I have called the creature it, and even a monster, I felt now that it was most certainly some sort of human being, and I knew I would never forgive myself if I had killed it. I watched the animal leave the clearing, walk into a stand of lodge poles, pines, and reappear briefly as it walked down a ridge. I wanted to find out if it lived on vegetation entirely or it ate meat as well, so I went down and looked for signs. I found it in 5 different places, and although I examined it thoroughly, could find no hair or shells of bugs or insects, so I believe it was strictly a vegetarian. I found one place where it had slept for a couple of nights under a tree. I subsequently related these details in a sworn legal statement. I concluded it by stating whether this was a Sasquatch, skunk ape, Jedi, I don't know what the hell it was. It will always remain a mystery to me. Unless someone else finds one, I hereby declare the above statement to be in every part true. Well, there was one more part I should add. It screwed up my hunting that day. I was shooting duckies, through a giant rock. Missed my head by about 4 feet. Wasn't the best aim, that creature. Man, did it stink. Stunk to high heaven, and when it screamed, it made an ear-piercing, side-splitting, my God, chilling. To the best of my powers of observation and recollections, I swear this story is true. It is important to note that my family and I, we won't even go trapping and hunting up there in those hills anymore. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I thank y'all. Bye. Well, I will tell you one more thing. My son and I went up there about 5 years later, checked the area out for some signs. He didn't believe me. And what did we find? 2 rabbits laying there in the woods. Eyeballs popped right out of their heads. He squeezed these rabbits so strong and so hard, one of those eyeballs was like 5 yards away. Optic nerve and everything laying there for everything. It was so gross. Well, that's my story. Hope you enjoyed it. By all means, feel free to leave me a comment or two on YouTube. See you around the bend.